There is a difference between what is legal and what is lawful. Legal is commercial law known as law of the sea, whereas lawful is natural law known as law of the land. Law of the sea deals with persons and legal fictions, as opposed to law of the land, which deals with people and living souls. Law of the sea is based on commercial and corporate trusts, whereas law of the land is based on public and private trust. Law of the sea is based on commercial codes, acts, and statutes, which all deal with commerce between corporate entities, whereas law of the land is based on natural and common law, which is to do with people, land, and property rights. Law of the sea has contracts that have oaths, corrections, and signatures, whereas law of the land deals with trade agreements that have affirmations, amendments, and autographs. Law of the sea has judges, administrative legal courts, tribunals, acts, and affidavits, whereas the law of the land has people's councils, jural assemblies, common law courts, writs, and testamentary evidence. Law of the sea has commercial banks that administer debtors, whereas the law of the land has community banks that administer creditors. Law of the sea has attorneys of law, whereas law of the land has counselors of law. Law of the sea makes contracts with officers, whereas law of the land makes agreements with officials. Law of the sea has voters, liberties, and residents, whereas law of the land has electors, freedoms, and inhabitants. Law of the sea deals with registers, corporate citizens, and presidents, whereas law of the land deals with records, nationals, and statesmen. Law of the sea has duties and obligations, whereas law of the land has inalienable rights. Law of the sea has legal tribunals that deal with legal persons considered corpus or dead. Law of the land has lawful assemblies that deal with lawful people considered living men and living women. Natural law, which is law of the land, is sovereign law. If you are a natural living man or woman, your only obligatory jurisdiction of law is natural law of the land. Commercial law of the sea is optional. You can choose to consent or not to consent. I am sovereign soul and natural man, lawfully embodied as King Agua Akbal Zizi of the Pinheiro royal family. I am from the sovereign kingdom of Pineal. I am the change I wish to see. Think.